What's up, Swolgers, strong men and strong women? Thank you for joining me on this video where I want to talk about a subject that is extremely helpful for framing your mindset and direction in transformation and personal success. This concept is you are not the old you, or the old you was not ready, or say it to yourself right now, the old me was not ready. A lot of times we strongly desire success. If you are anything like me and you're watching this video, you probably want more out of life, and not in a selfish way. We just deserve better as people and as individuals. We deserve to be strong, healthy, happy, energetic. We deserve to have good experiences and good people in our lives. But it is not just super easy to naturally have all of those things. We are constantly plagued by challenges and adversities and our current reality. So in order to get a new, different reality, you have to be a new, different you. So when I'm trying to grow anything in my life, my business, my gains, my strength, my muscle mass, my relationships, I use these words: the old me was not ready. Because we're coming to a point at some moment in time where you've had enough of this. You're ready for something different. You feel that fire inside of you, and you have all of this momentum and motivation to get after it, but it can come with a little bit of frustration and wonder, why did it take so long for me to get here? Or more frustration when you start walking some steps in that direction and then you feel like you're either running through mud or you just come headfirst into a brick wall. You have to remember, the old me was not ready. If you are in this place where you are desiring change, then you already know that you are different from who you were at days in the past. For me, I'm somebody that used to smoke weed every single day. I knew that it probably wasn't the best for me. Why'd I still do it? Doesn't really matter. But at some moment in time, I was ready to make the change. I was a new person that had the decisiveness and the ability to take action every single day to get that out of my life. When I was ready to take the next leap in my strength training and start competing at a high level in strongman, even though I had been lifting weights since I was 15, it had been up to 15 years of training hard up to that point, I was not ready to actually take it seriously and hire a coach, lock down my nutrition, cut that marijuana, cut all the drinking, fix my attitude so I wasn't walking around stressed and upset all the time. I knew that all of these things were probably what I should have done anyways, but it's not worth beating myself up over it and wondering, why the hell did I just start doing that at 31? Who cares? I should have, could spend time thinking, why didn't I do this at 26? But I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I had to take my bumps and bruises. I had to get all this life experience, and I had to come to a moment in time where I had to see myself face to face in the mirror and say, hey man, what are you doing? You're better than this. It took being in a pretty low place for me to see the very top of the mountain. I was in the very bottom of a deep, dark hole, but only from there could that bright, shining star at the top of the mountain make itself look so attractive and also reveal that there was a path there. I don't know if that, metaphor or whatever is claiming with you, but it took me being at a low point to kick my own self in the rear and start taking it seriously. Doesn't matter if I knew at 25 or even at 18, if I knew that you got to eat right, you got to follow a training program, you got to sleep well, I was still chasing other things. I was chasing social status. I was chasing girls. I was chasing a lot of shit that just didn't matter. So with anything else in our life, we went through those bumps and bruises. I realized that certain types of people are not good for the life that I want to live. Even though I like them and they're good people, they're not conducive to what I want in my lifestyle. I had to learn that lesson. I had to learn the lesson of walking my individual path and believing in myself. I had to learn the lesson of getting into strongman comps and getting my freaking butt kicked to have some humility and understand that this was all going to take so much more work than I realized. So it took me a long time to get there, but it was lesson after lesson after lesson after lesson. And maybe I knew all of these things deep down, but all of those old versions of me, none of them were ready in the way that I am now. And that's just about my strength training journey. You know, my business, my coaching, any work that I do for others, anything that I'm doing in my life, it is the exact same, and it's the exact same for you. You have had to walk your own individual journey to be where you are now. So if you come up to a moment of frustration or adversity, I want you to remember two things. First, it's not supposed to be easy. We're at war with vices, very powerful things like social media that are brilliantly designed to suck and capture your attention. We have outlets like the news, every newspaper, magazines, etc., that are flashy and sensational, that are designed to get you outraged so you become addicted to sucking in all of that information and then going back for another dopamine hit. So you are at war with these things. I know a lot of people cringe when you say, like, I'm going to war with this or that, but I really think it's important to know that you are a strong warrior going up against this stuff. And in the same way that a warrior has to climb up through the ranks to become a better soldier, in the same way that the best, most legendary soldiers have fought the hardest battles, you too are now at this new place where you are a forged soldier ready for this next step. So remember, the old me was not ready. I invite you to say it to yourself right now because it's true. The old you was not ready. Today's a new day. You're not who you were yesterday. And you can be something totally better and new and stronger and different. So keep your head up. Stay focused on what you want. Figure out all of those traits, attitudes, and habits that this new person is going to have to get you what you want, and then show up and start applying them. Just get after it. Trait after habit after attitude over and over and over again. Build those layers. Build them up into a big, unstoppable force and mountain that cannot be resisted in the face of what you want to achieve. Thank you for watching. If this was any use whatsoever to you, please give me a like, hit subscribe on the channel, or just use this phrase, even if you don't do any of that. The old you was not ready. Peace.